Can we just go ahead and agree that Netflix owes everything to the Duffer Brothers? Not only did the Duffer Brothers create one of the most original IPs available to a streaming service, made Netflix a gajillion of dollars through merchandises and just everything else, but it's now breathing fresh new life into Netflix, which Netflix has desperately needed. Because I don't know if you've heard, but the number of subscribers has been going down drastically. The prices have been going up by a lot, but the production of Netflix's stuff has been going down. And man, Netflix really needed this. They needed this W. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be reviewing Stranger Things 4, or Season 4, Volume 1. That's right, this is Volume 1. 7 of the 9 episodes have been released, and in about a month, episode 8 and 9 will be released. So then we'll do a Volume 2 review, or potentially a reaction. Leave a like and leave a comment if you want to see me do a reaction on this. Not a review, a full-on reaction to the final of Stranger Things. Because episode 9 is supposed to be 2 hours and like 30 minutes long. It's going to be like a full-on movie. And I would love to do a reaction to this if you guys want to see it. So leave your thoughts down in the comments and leave a like. And subscribe also to let me know that, hey, we're going to do this. Also, this is going to be a full-on spoiler review for Volume 1 of Stranger Things. So if you haven't binged it yet during this Memorial Day weekend, go ahead, binge it all. It's great. I know it's long. Each episode's like an hour 30, an hour 50, pushing 2 hours. But go ahead and binge it and then come back here and let's talk about it. So Stranger Things Season 4 is back, and where we left off with Season 3, there was a lot of things that happened there that I actually kind of forgot about. I mean, it's been many years since Season 3 has come out. And then, Season 4 went into production, and even then they said, hey, it's going to be a while until you see Season 4 because it's going to take us a while. And then the pandemic started, and that probably halted filming and all of that. So now we have 2 volumes, but then you watch these episodes and you watch how long they are, and you see how much effort the Duffer Brothers and everybody in the creative team for Stranger Things, people who have directed the episodes, written the episodes, just everybody. You can see how much effort was put into every single episode, because every single episode truly feels like its own movie. It's insane. I was so deep and invested in every single episode, because every single one of them just felt like its own movie. First of all, what I noticed, the sound design, I don't really remember if Season 1 through 3 had this crazy sound design, and it's not something that I talk about ever on this channel actually, but it's just something that I noticed. The sound design is insane in this show. It's so crisp with every single movement, every single object, every single boom to like scare the shit out of you. It's done super well. And the cinematography, there's a few different directors through the 7 episodes. Each director, the Duffer Brothers, I think, get 2 episodes. Shawn Levy gets 2 episodes. Shawn Levy, you might know him from directing movies like Real Steel, Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, and most recently another movie with Ryan Reynolds that came out on Netflix also called The Adam Project. I have a movie reaction on the channel for that. But yeah, Shawn Levy gets 2 episodes, and Shawn Levy actually directed one of the best episodes, which was episode 4. But the cinematography is like off the charts also here, and the horror element. We have to talk about the horror element because they have cranked it up a lot. This season is on a scale like no other. This is why I tell you, when they said, hey, like it's going to be a while until you see Season 4, it's because they were putting a lot into this. I can't even imagine what the writing room looked like for each episode, because they truly spread everybody around the world. Jim Hopper is in Russia over there in a prison. Mike, Will, Jonathan's new friend who's hilarious, they're in California. People are in Hawkins like usual. And it truly feels like a Game of Thrones episode. Like if you've ever seen Game of Thrones, it's kind of like every season played out. We knew all the characters, but they were all spread out around Westeros, going through their own little stories. That, I hate talking about Game of Thrones because of Season 8, but, it all comes together at the end. Not really. It all kind of falls apart. But they were all spread out around Westeros, and this is what this season is like. Everybody is just spread out, and it feels like it's truly on a massive scale. Now, with the whole, being spread out all over the place and everybody having their own stories, I did like it. There were some stories that I got invested in more than the other ones. Like, for example, the main story, Ian Hawkins with Victor Creel and Vecna And I mean, Steve, Dustin, Nancy, Robin, everybody, everybody who's in Hawkins, like, they are kind of the main thing because they're dealing with the upside down. Please don't kill Steven, because I know by like episode 9, one of the main characters, one of the main group members is going to die, and I'm extremely worried it's going to be Steve. Did I call him Steven? Just don't kill Steve. But you probably are going to kill Steve, aren't you? Like, I don't want Steve to die, but I really just feel like they're going to do it. If anybody's going to go, I feel like it's going to be him, but I don't want it to be him. It could also be 11. I don't know. I feel like it could be 11 also. That first girl and the guy, and there was another guy. Dude, the deaths, they're so gruesome. And the horror element is truly amped up this season. It truly feels like they were like, okay, so the kids, they started young when we first started filming the show. They knew that it was kind of like a horror show. It was kind of like it was a decent horror show. Nothing like too crazy, I would say, right? But now here in season 4, they're like, people are growing up now. Let's crank it up a notch and let's have people just... Also, since I guess we're on the topic of Hawkins, let's talk about some of the new additions. First of all, we got Eddie, who's the leader of the Hellfire Club. He's great. I really like him as a character. I'm happy that he's now part of the team towards the end of episode 7. He went into the Upside Down with Steve and Nancy and Robin. Like, he's fully there, and he's a great new addition. The people that don't like the new additions are the Jocks, the basketball team. One of them is the boyfriend of the first girl that died, so he has this whole kind of thing about him where he's gonna find Eddie because he blames Eddie for his girlfriend's death. I'm just not invested in that entire subplot. That's one of the subplots that I'm just kind of like, why did we need this? Why do we need these jocks pretending to be detectives running around? This is definitely the worst subplot out of every single subplot that is happening in the show. I could have done without it personally. I don't care about it. The next plot revolves around Mike, Will, Jonathan, and Jonathan's friend, who is also a new addition to the cast. He's great. He adds great, like, comedic moments to this show. And so this group, Will, Mike, Jonathan, have been here since day 1, right? They've been here since season 1. Will, Jonathan, they went through a lot together. And Mike also, Mike has 11, but then 11 gets taken away. And then Jonathan, Mike, and Will are like, well, let's go find where 11 is. And that's going to be our entire story this season. This story feels weird and extremely long and unnecessary for how long it is, because I'm starting to think that, like, did they just not know what to do with Jonathan, Will, and Mike? That they were like, let's just send him on this goose chase to, like, find where 11 is. First of all, they have... Okay, I will give this group props. I care about this group, right? Will, Jonathan's in there, Jonathan's new friend. Like, I care about them. They're not like the jocks. But this subplot is a bit ridiculous, in my opinion. This group does participate in one of the best action sequences this show has to offer. And that is in episode 4, again, directed by Sean Levy. The best episode, in my opinion, so far. It's called Dear Billy. Great episode. There is a shootout at Will's house, and it's a one take with the army kind of closing in on them because they need to capture them, but the secret agents have been assigned to protect them. One of them gets shot right away, but then this other one just starts blasting everybody. Oh my god. That was a top tier action sequence. My jaw was honestly on the floor how they did that. I was so into it. I'm a sucker for a good one take, and that one take was so intense and incredible. Guns popping off, the sound editing, again, brilliant there. That one agent just kept them alive, was just going off. I mean, R.I.P. my guy, you really did your thing there in that scene. That was great. But besides that, this group is on, like, a very ridiculous journey. I thought their journey could have come to a really quick end, so this agent dies, but he gives them this pen that has, like, a clue to where 11 is, right, to 11's location. And they open this pen, and a piece of paper falls out. And then they open it, and I saw numbers, so I was like, oh shit, it's coordinates. Like, now they know where to go. But no, it was a phone number, because then they had to call this phone number that led to a computer, but then they needed a hacker, so they went to Dustin's girlfriend all the way in Utah, and then she found the coordinates by, like, hacking or something, and then they found the coordinates, so now they're on their way to get 11. It was just like, they were already on a subplot, but then they got a side mission to go to Susie's house, and it's like, did we just not know what to do with this group? Because this group is just all over the place. I do think this group has potential. I mean, there's still 2 episodes left, and there is some tension between Mike and Will. There's something going on with Will that the internet has talked about for a while now. I think ever since like season 2, they've been talking about this. I'm not going to say what it is yet. I wanted to confirm it first in the show, but if you've been paying close attention, you could probably see what's going on with Will. I wouldn't say it's anything like crazy, but you could kind of tell what's going on with Will here, and I just need them to confirm it. And I don't know if they will, but we'll wait till the end to see if they confirm that with Will. But there's something with Mike and Will where I think they just need to talk it out or something and get like, they kind of did, but to me it wasn't like that satisfying. I still think there's something there that they need to hash out and really become really tight friends, because Mike at times can be very unlikable and Will just mopes around a lot. And Jonathan for the past 2 seasons has done jack shit. He has been sidelined completely, and the only like entertaining one out of all of them is Jonathan's new friend, who's like high all the time and funny. But the other ones, who are the main characters, they're okay. Joyce and Murray are going to Russia. They are a great duo. They're really fun. Joyce is like the serious one and Murray's the goofy one, and I think that dynamic works really well between them. And they're on their way to save Harbour, and Harbour is in a Russian prison. And I'm actually really invested in Harper's story also, just because of what he's going through, because he's going through some tough shit in that prison. But he has made friends. He has made friends with a guard. First of all, I like where their relationship starts. He starts off with this guard. The guard is the guard. He has power over Harper. But he says, hey, I can smuggle you out of here. I'm going to get rich for smuggling you out of here because your friend's going to pay. And, you get your freedom and stuff like that. But he still has power over Harper. That's how the season starts. And then they all get caught and they all get betrayed. And then the guard just lowers down to Hopper's level. And now him and Hopper are both prisoners and they need to be friends. And I like where their relationship went, because they went from like kind of being like, oh my God, we're just helping each other, like we don't like each other, to being like, you know what? You're cool. You're cool. I think Hopper's Russian friend is unfortunately not going to make it out. He has made it through 7 episodes so far, but I can definitely see by episode 9, I don't think he's going to make it out. He did mention something about a son, so he could make it out, see his son. But for some reason, I feel like he's not going to make it out of this prison. And I believe that just leaves us with 11, who is also on her own journey. She went to Nevada with Dr. Owen, and then it turns out that Papa is still alive, and they're like, hey, we can get your powers back. So now they're going through this whole mind discovery journey about her getting her, powers back. By the way, I forgot to mention this, but the way episode 1 starts, oh my God, it shows you that, like, this is the stage that we're setting. We are going to slaughter all of these children. Oh boy, that was some brutal stuff. And it was a little red herring. Hey, we thought that did 11 murder all these kids? And no, it turns out that the older version of Henry, who is the kid of Victor Creel, murdered everybody. Basically, he's been the one doing it. Vecna is number 1. He's the very first patient, I guess, or the very first one to have superpowers. They are pulling an exhausting performance out of Millie Bobby Brown. 5 minutes in episode 1, she was happy. Maybe 3 minutes in episode 2, she was happy. But for a lot of her performance through 7 episodes, it's been tears. It's been fear. It's been just nonstop panic. And she's giving a great performance, but they are pulling an exhausting performance from her. There's going to be an epic moment, maybe in episode 9, when everything will seem like it's lost. And then 11 just shows up to save the day. That's going to be epic. It's going to be epic when that happens. This whole exhausting thing is going to be worth it, because she's going to have her epic superhero moment, and yeah, it's gonna be worth it. One thing about the 11 story that I want to talk about, something doesn't seem to match up with the storyline from season 1. So if you remember, or maybe I'm not remembering correctly, let me know down in the comments. In season 1, when Mike and the group find 11, she doesn't really know how to communicate. She doesn't say much. They had to like teach her a lot of the words and like what words mean and all of that. But then at the end of episode 7, when we find out, this guy that's been taking care of her, he's the evil guy all along. He is giving this long ass monologue, a great monologue. First of all, was really tuned into that. He was giving this monologue and using all of these words, and all I'm doing is sitting here being like, is she processing this? Like, how is she understanding this? Because in season 1, it seemed like they almost needed to teach her English and how to talk and what words mean. But here they are, like, this guy's giving her this giant monologue and she's understanding it fully. Am I overthinking it? Or am I missing something? Because in season 1, she, like, didn't really know how to communicate. But in this flashback in episode 7, like, she really understands everybody and all of these scientists and what they're saying. This season, the Duffer Brothers, and again, everybody behind this project, they came out swinging, man. Like, it's so good, and it's such a great comeback for Stranger Things. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch a single trailer. Okay, that's a lie. I think I watched the first trailer. I don't even remember it. Like, I might have watched. I don't remember. Whatever. I skipped on every single promotional material because I was like, the hype for Stranger Things, even though I love the show, is down. It's on the floor because it's been so long, and to see it reinvested in it, like, I'll tune into it, and if they grab me, they grab me. And they grabbed me immediately. So good. Because they definitely had a hurdle. It's been a while. The pandemic happened. There's a lot of shows that have come out on streaming recently. Like, Stranger Things now has competition, I guess, but not anymore because season 4 is so fucking good. It's really good. However, there is a lot of subplots going on, like way too many subplots. We have a lot of characters spread around the world, and everybody has their own adventure that they're going on. And then in those adventures, there's like mini character adventures. Like, for example, in the Hawkins one, like, Max and Lucas still have to figure out their relationship. Dustin and Steve, they're just kind of doing things. But Steve and Nancy are, like, potentially going to get back together. Like, so Nancy now has feelings for Steve again, and Steve has feelings for Nancy again. Like, Nancy completely forgot about Jonathan. We have ditched this Jonathan-Nancy relationship. That has been forgotten for that. It never happened. That relationship never happened. Like, it's gone, guys. We will never mention it again. Think about this. I don't know how you are. I think I'm actually pretty good with this type of stuff. Like, I can take a break from a show and then come back to the point where I left this and remember pretty much all of where we left off. But let me know how you are with this. Now I'm thinking about this. Episode 7 ended. Everybody's kind of scattered still all over the place. Nobody has gotten together yet. In a month, because Volume 2 comes out in a month. It comes out on July 1st. In a month, when you tune into episode 8, are you going to remember where we left off with every single character? I don't think so. I'm slowly starting to forget where some of the side characters have been left off. There's a lot of moving pieces, and you gotta remember a lot for episode 8, which comes out in a month. Like, just remember, where did all the chess pieces stay when you left? Let me know down in the comments. What did you think about Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1? Did you think it was too much? Did you like how expansive and big the world gotten? Let me know all of that down in the comments. I would love to have a discussion with you about that. I know I didn't touch upon everything this season. There was just no way I could touch upon everything this season. If there was something that I missed and you would like to hear my thoughts about it, leave your thoughts about it down in the comments. Again, we can have a discussion about all of that. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys next time. Maybe next time will be the Volume 2 Episode 9 reaction. Peace.